Hello Eternum and welcome to KOTT News, Eternum's #1 source for news, and this is the War Report. No change in the dynamic of Eternum last night as the great houses of the island negotiate a peace treaty until the introduction of the new laws of armed conflict. KOTT news crews took advantage of the downtime to volunteer their efforts against the corruption invasion forces last night, once again turning away the efforts of the enemy to downgrade the infrastructure of the hamlets across Eternum. KOTT News would like to remind its subscribers and those who are about to be that the Season 2 pass ends in 2 weeks, so be sure to wrap up your activity card goals as soon as possible. Looking at the weather for tonight, and once again the sun will continue to encircle the Eternum sky, keeping the corruption at bay. Then look out after sunset when the corruption invasion forces come out once more and try again across 20% of the island. 5 roster submissions for Simulated Fantasy Combat Resolution tonight, brought to you by LARPco. Remember, if it isn't LARPco, it's cardboard. First up, the Syndicate members of Tropical Disturbance assail the Covenant hero worshippers of the Outcasts for control of the hardly controllable Eastern Restless Shore. Like a level 4 storm, this tropical disturbance crashes against the beaches of the shoreline, giving the Outcasts multiple fronts to contest in the confusion leading up to next week's Great Campfire Festival. The anarchy in the archipelago arises anew as the anointed evangelists of the Outcast must decide how to divide their apostle amongst their 3 fronts, with or without their legendary hero. Meanwhile, the Syndicate members of Fresh Bench attack the Covenant hero worshippers of the Outcasts for control of the island's primary oil reserves of Weaver's Fen. Fresh Bench, working in conjunction with its fellow Syndicate members, striking at the zealots of the Outcasts in order to increase their odds of successfully coordinating a regional conquest. The Outcasts, on the other hand, juggling multiple land holdings, will have to decide which region will carry the most productive weight, should they decide to hold any east of the Central Corridor at all. Meanwhile still, the Syndicate members of Primordius Rise assault the Covenant hero worshippers of the Outcasts for control of the island's secondary oil reserves of the Southern Cutlass Keys. With a historical lineage that harkens all the way back to when this reporter first swam ashore, Primordius returns to reclaim its position as one of the island's preeminent great houses. The Outcasts, torn between some familiar faces or the history books, may not know where to send their troops, if they send them at all, perhaps deciding to fall back and beginning anew. Later, the marauders of Emotional Damage assault the vault of JDB's kitchen, attempting to steal away the island's central financial capital of Windsward. Emotional Damage, no stranger to taking advantage of a situation, seizing the opportunity to potentially grab the island's income hub in the midst of the surrounding confusion. But early reports out of Windsward have indicated that JDB's kitchen staff have already begun transporting settlement supplies into uncontrolled Eden Grove, so it could be their intention to prepare to lay first claim there. Also, the Covenant converts of Hammered challenged the champs of JDB's kitchen for their championship title and the right to rule over Everfall. Inspired by their recent victory in the team photo competition, Hammered forces turn their attention to the only logical next step and throw their hat into the ring against the heavyweight champions of Eternum. Few have dared to challenge the champs since taking the belt some 3 months ago, averaging only 1 bout per month. But if this unknown newcomer finds a way to knock them out, it will send ripples across the island. Be sure to tune in for complete coverage and reactions from the citizens tonight at 11. Until then, this has been War Correspondent JChalant, KOTT News.